Yo, what's up?
What's going on, everybody?
How you doing out there in the cyber world and all of that stuff? New episode, brand spanking new of Critical and Thinking. I'm Ty Barnett.
I am Ian Harris, and another day,
Another
whatever.
crop of shit.
Craziness, right?
Dude,
Craziness.
And I always tell people this, man, no matter what side you're on, it does not matter. You have the one thing that we all have to agree on is that we have constantly been on a treadmill of something.
Right.
For the last 2.5, almost 3 years, every single day has been something. Like I can't even, I really just want, give me a week. If you gave me a week where the government didn't do anything, there was no weak ass Nazis getting mad that gay people were having a parade. If you just give me a week of kissing babies and hugging puppies, that's all I want. I just want a basic week of absolutely nothing happening.
Kissing babies and smelling puppies. That's the Joe Biden tour.
There you go. Okay, and I'm cool with that too.
Right.
That he can smell all the babies and kiss all the puppies that he wants. I just want some time where nothing happens. Like, don't get me wrong. I love doing the podcast. I love working with my boy here. But damn, sometimes I wish we had a day where we came in and said, there's nothing really to talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything has been cool.
Yeah. We good? All right, see you guys next week.
Right? We haven't had that. We're like gerbils on the hamsters on this constant wheel of shit.
So you mentioned it. It's Pride Month, Pride Week.
Shout out to all the gay, lesbian, trans, all those people that live your life. Fuck with all of these weak-ass, quote-unquote, proud boys, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself. Fuck what they think. Live your life. This is amazing to me in 2019 that we still have people that want to tell other grown people what to do with their life. This is weird to me.
Yeah, it's funny. And now they've got, well, first off, there was a gay pride parade, Motor City Pride parade in Detroit, right? And they had a bunch of Nazis came out armed Nazis, with armed Nazis coming out, and they had to give them a police escort. A lot of people were a little faux outraged about that. I can't believe they're protecting the Nazis and not protect. It's like, then I realized, because I saw what the chief of police said something today that I was like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Apparently they had intel that the Nazis were there armed, trying to start a riot.
To start shit.
And I mean, they actually had a plan to start a riot, like Charlottesville. They were calling it Charlottesville 2.0. So the police escort was actually pretty smart, because the police escort kept them in check. It wasn't like you know, and they're a smaller group than the press. Yeah, so of course they're not going to.
Where is Indiana Jones when you need him, bro? Where is Indiana Jones? This just a history lesson for the people out there. This, again, is not a left or right issue. At one point, Americans were against Nazis. I just want to be very clear about that. This isn't even kind of like the debate that you like to have about the Confederate flag. Well, you know, they're Americans and the rebels. And
right.
We fought. There are veterans that are laying in the cemetery that fought against Nazis, that did waving a Nazi flag on American soil. Do you understand how bad that is?
No, they don't.
Oh, sorry. I was asking wrong question.
A rhetorical question that you can't. But here's the thing: is that I saw this one of the guys was quoted as saying, "I'm going to."
What up, Reggie? What up, Lee?
Going to get the quote wrong. It's not this. I'm paraphrasing, but he basically said, one of the Nazis said, "Hey, we have people who died for our right to do this." And we're out here showing so whatever the support.
Was he talking about Hitler?
Yeah, he's saying basically saying American soldiers died for the freedom for me to be able to say what, and he's right, except for the fact that the majority of those people who died fighting Nazis because
and they were against the flag that you're.
They fought the guys that are wearing the same uniform you're wearing. Those guys are wearing the Nazi uniform with the banner on the arm. It's like, and he's going, our American soldiers fought people like me so that I can have the freedom to be a Nazi. Like, what? You're completely missing you're right.
I don't even do drugs like that, but I need a Xanax. Right now, I need a Xanax. That's how frustrating.
It's so unbelievable.
This is, And here's what trips me out about this, and I say this because as comedians, we're like, you know what? Let's find light in all of these subjects. Let's figure out something to make me fun. It's just hard sometimes when you just like constantly seeing an inundation of dumb,
Right.
dumb, all the time, and they hide it under so many different things now. But now, what's even more crazy than that is that you have people now that are enabling them more. And
Right.
that's the part that's scary, because if you just told these people, like if someone just came up to that Nazi dude and said, hey man, get the fuck out of here. Take that patch off. That's not right. But you got people standing behind that dude saying, yeah, that's right. Stop it. Stop. Know your history. If you don't care about your history, then just say that. But don't use the name of dead soldiers for your right to hate people, which again, in America.
But if I'm sure that we have some a few.
Hey Michael, hey Stacy.
I'm sure we have a few several gay listeners. If the next Pride parade that happens anytime soon, can somebody please like take a page out of Mel Brooks? I would love to see a whole group of people. Like, you know, they have like sometimes they have like little floats and they have like the different things, different groups representing whatever. I would love to see a group dressed up in Nazi uniforms doing like a Mel Brooks gay Nazi show tune type thing. That would be hilarious.
In space.
like in the producers, right? Where
Yeah.
it's like, I would love to see that. I would love to see some sort of gay Hitler Nazi.
The Holocaust.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That would please in your next Pride parade, put on the Nazi uniforms and do some sort of gay Nazi thing. That would be fantastic.
I'm just honestly tripped out, bro, by the fact that we still live in a society that wants to tell other people what to do with their life. But you know, here's my theory. I honestly have a theory about this. If you have a miserable life, then you will spend more time trying to chide somebody for living their life. And I
Right.
think a lot of these people are miserable. If you look in some of these people's backgrounds and their financial history, their emotional history, their lifestyle, they're miserable.
Right.
And they have to find a way to channel that misery in another way. You know, and I always used to kind of joke about this with Oprah. I used to be like, you notice you never hear Oprah out here going off on people? Because Oprah's rich.
Right.
Oprah's like, I ain't got time to fuck with none of y'all. You know what I'm saying? So when you have people that don't have anything in their life going, and we kind of talked about this before, where it's like, if stuff is going wrong for you in your life, that anger builds up. So you take moments, and we're all guilty of it.
Right.
I've done it myself, where I felt like shit wasn't popping off the way I wanted to. So I would go looking to get that out there.
But I've never said this damn hip hop music.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
yeah, we know we direct it in a certain way. Like, we'll find somebody that's just stupid and we go at them and let them know
Right.
that they're stupid. But these other people, bro, when they come in and they're like, I just want you to think about what happened. These people went and got dressed, right? They got dressed, put on their Nazi patches, went and made sure that their flags looked properly Nazi-ish and
it's
you know
springtime
all that,
for
right?
Hitler.
And they went to a place to fuck with people who all they were doing was just expressing pride and living the life that they're comfortable with, period. They
Right.
didn't go there and say, fuck not. They didn't even say fuck Nazis. They said, we're just happy being gay. And they're like, fuck you and your pride. Do you understand how evil of a person and how dead you must be inside?
Well, the funny thing is, one of the guys said something about like he goes,
Adolf Homo.
Yeah.
That's funny, Corey.
one of these guys said something about, well, I don't understand why give him a Southern accent, because all dumb people have Southern accents for some reason. Not all Southern accent people are dumb, but for some reason, I'm not a huge fan of Bill Burr, but even Bill Burr does that bit about, like, anytime you hear someone talk like this, he's like, if Einstein talked like that, you'd be like, all right, whatever.
E equals MC squared.
Yeah, but if there's
Square
just he said something about if the N-words and the homos and whatever, if they can be proud. Oh, and he goes, and the child molesters, if they can be. It's like,
How do you lump them all in the same?
Yeah.
But they won't say priest.
Black people, Mexicans, and child molesters. Yeah, those are the same. But
they won't say priest
Well,
for
and here's
some
the thing.
reason.
How many people, when you look at the history of groups that are molesting children regularly, like it's their Sunday. Hey, what do you do this? Oh, I got to go to brunch, and I got to pick up my mother from the airport. Oh, and then I got to go fuck some kids. Like that's those people. It's the Catholic Church. It's the Baptists. It's all the right-wing religious nuts.
Yes.
So it's like you're trying to
Yes.
pin this on liberals and gays. No, it's you. You're the one who's molesting your own children and other people's children.
And they try to lump everybody in there because they don't want to seem. They want to seem like we're the only ones that's good. When in actuality, you're the guys that are doing all the foul
Right.
shit. And then that's it. But so to come back to this thing, so people went and had a straight parade, right?
They want to have a straight. My friend Zan, you see him on Facebook. I can't pull it up right now. I wanted to quote him too, but he basically said, "I'm so sick and tired of walking down the street and being yelled at for being straight and having people tell me, hey, go over there and hook up with some girl." Listen, hetero. He's like, we need to do something
It's
about
like, do you understand how fragile you have to be to say,
Right.
I'm going to have a parade to let people know I'm straight? Fuck, you are weak as fuck.
Right.
It's bananas to me, man.
But it's like, when will
JS? What up, Victor?
When will the straight white American Christians stop being
Oppressed? Yeah,
it's amazing.
We
It's like-
have to do something. This is when you have to play that through the eyes of an angel.
One time, I was down at Walmart,
Da, da, da,
and this queer guy cut in front of me, and I was gonna say, hey man, you can't cut in front of me, but I noticed that he was wearing a rainbow shirt, and I didn't want to get in trouble for being homophobic. So I didn't do nothing. I let him go, and he was only buying some milk. You know, it was probably homogenized milk or something like that, because you know them homos always buy homogenized milk. I don't even know what homogenized means, but it sounds like you might not want to trust that milk. But so I let him go, and I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of it. I mean, next time I go to Walmart, I got to bring my gun. I might bring 3 guns, just in case I run into 3 homos trying to buy homogenized milk in front of me. What am I gonna do? This ain't right.
Come on,
This
man.
is America.
Do y'all
This is
understand
America.
how pathetic y'all look when y'all do shit like that, man? Just let people live their life. If they are not hurting you or children, which, again, ironically, you never say anything about the people who are actually hurting children. It's just weird to me. It's like...
Unless they're fetuses.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just amazing to me.
Yeah, the straight pride parade. What I want to know, what are the themes of straight pride?
Nice.
What are the themes of straight pride parade? That's what I want to know. What
Well,
are the-
you know what? It might be one of them things where people are walking around with pussy hats, ironically.
Right, exactly.
It's like, because I like, but the dudes are wearing pussy hats because I like pussy hats.
you know what would be funny though? It would be fun to go infiltrate a straight pride parade and go up and do all the gayest straight, like all the stuff that they would do at a gay pride parade, like just be super flamboyant and playing show, but do it in the name of straight pride and just have people go, wait, what's going on here? Like all the straight.
I'm just proud to be straight. I'm like, I think you. No. I'm still no.
That would be hilarious. Just have it make the straight pride parade the gayest looking pride parade ever, but it's all about being straight.
This
would be great.
I gotta tell you something, man. I like I said, I can't imagine what it must be like to have that kind of fear of other people's existence. I really don't. Like, I don't understand what that life is like. Like,
Yeah.
I can tell you, I have no problem with gay people being gay. Be gay. Do your thing. You know me, dude. The only thing I don't.
It's Mexicans.
Stop. Somebody's gonna edit this down and they'll be like, oh, nope.
The Rush Limbaugh.
Just don't fuck with kids.
Right.
Don't fuck with kids. That's the only. Don't fuck with kids.
Literally
and
and
animals.
figuratively.
And
Yeah.
animals. Kids and animals. If you want to be an adult and you want to be with another adult that's the same sex, do you think this is what? Again, like I said, it just trips me out that people feel like it's a big deal to come down on people for doing what they want to do behind closed doors. That's crazy. Yeah,
Right.
think about the energy.
Yeah, but they're
spent in
always
that.
pushing it in my face. Like one time I saw gay people and they were holding hands, Ty.
Like, come
Holding
on.
hands in public. What are the kids going to think when they see 2 loving people? You know, I mean, think about this, man. My wife and I don't even hold hands. I mean, how are my kids supposed to think? What are they supposed to think about me when I go home and smack my wife up and then they see 2 guys holding hands at the mall? I mean, this stuff is outrageous. this, Ty.
Sarah McLachlan, don't sue us.
It's like when, I love it. Well, they're pushing their gay agenda down our throats. It's like
excuse the pun.
That's the thing. What do they say?
Just live your life, man. And you will be surprised at, and this is why I say you see certain people when they have all their shit together, they do not mess with other people's stuff. You don't see, name a celebrity that's got all their shit together. Like there's no negative stuff going on in their life. They got all their shit together that you see out there.
Donald Trump.
Yeah, no, not that dude.
Okay.
But like you don't see people, even rich people like Warren Buffett. You don't see these cats out there just
which is weird. Which tells you something about the insanity and either he's got I've heard he's got an Adderall problem. I don't know if you saw that comic who used to work for Trump do a thing about how he snorts Adderall. It's not cocaine, and that's why he's always up late night. He's totally paranoid. And actually, it reminds me. I want to ask something about what's Kellyanne Conway's husband, but he's not as rich as obviously he says. He loses a lot of money, but he's still rich. At least he's rich in that debt, rich guy with tons of debt type thing. But what a fucking nut he must be. What a narcissistic psycho he must be. All he worries about is what everybody else is saying, and if there's anything negative about him. Like, no, you're right. Nobody else. Who does that? Poor people who have nothing else, who's blaming everybody else for their problems. And Donald Trump, you don't see anybody else. You don't see Oprah up at 3 a.m. sitting on the toilet going like, "This goddamn Maury Povich, I did that same thing 5 years ago." Like,
exactly.
I don't know why Oprah talks like that, but
I was like, she's not country. but this is why I say. But now to bring this back to the average citizen, look at your life now and be honest with how your life is going. Don't make this a left or right issue. Not at all. Look at how your life is going. If there are things in your life that are honestly your fault and you don't want to confront those things, then the problem is you, one. But two, that's where a lot of your anger comes from. I always say the joke used to always be like, I always used to tell people, like, I knew I had to leave the last job I was at. I used to work at a hospital. I knew I had to leave the job when I was angry on payday. Like payday.
Right.
Like, I'm getting paid today and I'm still angry as fuck. And that was a sign to me that I was more so angry at the job. Like I just don't want to be here anymore. Right. And once I left that job, guess what? Shit got better. At least, you know what I'm saying? Like shit got, the anger that I had at regular shit dissipated. It was gone. I didn't have that kind of feeling because I was actually doing something with my life that I wanted to do. So don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean I haven't been upset since then, of course. But the level of upset that I was, it's not even, dude, I used to have to cry before I went to, I'm not even bullshitting, bro. I used to have to pull over on the side of the freeway and have a good cry before I went into work. And I had a good job. I had a job that had benefits and all that. I just was unhappy at the job. I didn't like being there. I didn't like doing it. I didn't like at least 60% of my coworkers. I did not like. But once I changed
Angela.
that. No, sorry. Hilarious. It'd be funny if I did actually wear somebody's name, Angela. I'm joking, Angela, not you. But once I changed that, then shit got better for me mentally. And I think a lot of people out here refuse to do that because, again, until you figure out what it is with your life, because sometimes you just don't have time to do it. Right. And we talk about this at our shows. If you come to a comedy show, you're sitting there, you're coming there to escape what's going on with your life.
Right.
So, and you know, like you, and I know you've done this before where you may have an issue, a personal issue or whatever going on, but then once you get on stage and you're performing, you forget about it, at least for the time that you're performing. So let me ask you something. What did you do before you became a stand-up full-time? What was your...
well, honestly, I mean, I started doing comedy when I was turned 21. So I worked at a Chinese restaurant during high school all the way to like 19, and then I worked at a warehouse for a couple years, and then I literally started doing comedy almost full-time when I was like 20.
Now, let's see. So you're 23 now.
Yeah, so I've been doing a couple years.
That's right. But could you imagine, like, but you're even with how the business has its ups and downs, whatever, you're still living the life that you want to live now, right?
Oh, yeah, no. Absolutely.
Now, imagine if you were still working at that goddamn Chinese restaurant.
Right.
And then you're seeing all of this shit going on in the country. Part of you will be like, oh, these motherfuckers. But instead of looking at your life and saying, well, shit, maybe I need to fix some shit on my end. And I
Right.
think a lot of people in this country are just angry at themselves.
Right.
And they don't know how to fucking direct that anger. They don't.
Well, I was thinking it just reminded me of this slightly because I wanted to bring it up anyway, and it kind of transitions. The thing I was thinking about Kellyanne Conway, her husband, I forgot his name.
But you call it Kellyanne Conjob, is it?
Yeah, Kellyanne Kanye.
Hilarious.
But that whole thing throws me off. I don't know if you know. He's I forgot. I always forget his.
He's anti-Trump. Her husband.
He's super anti-Trump. He's a Republican, but he's super anti-Trump. She was anti-Trump all the way up until she got hired.
Yep.
And now she's unwavering. I don't know if she actually believes it or if it's just all for money.
I think it's all. I think she's an evil person, one, but I also think the money helps her maintain her evilness.
But I wonder. My question is, and this isn't a political question, but it's similar to like people who have two separate religions and they get married. How do you? It's one thing to disagree. It's like, okay, you're a Christian and you're a Jewish person and you guys get married and maybe you just don't bring religion into it at all and you don't, it isn't a problem. If your job is to promote and lie for a person who I think is detrimental to the universe.
And you thought they were detrimental as well.
Right.
Because it's not like she just, she's on record of saying shit about this dude.
How do you reconcile that at home? Like, if you come home and you're like, I mean, honestly, it's like being Jewish and then you're the minister of information for Hitler. They come, this Hitler's got me doing all. I had to round up like 1 million Jews today, and you're home going, I'm Jewish. Your husband, I'm Jewish.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, you're cool, but man, it was crazy. Like,
Yeah.
how do you reconcile that?
Dude.
And I'm not saying that Trump is Hitler. I'm just saying like extreme. He's an extreme fucking dude, and you work in an extreme way for this extreme dude, and your husband hates that guy in an extreme way. How do you reconcile that shit at home?
Well, and I think part of it has to be money-based, financially. There's nowhere in the world she's not getting paid, because that's affecting your personal life. Because this dude has also attacked her husband. So think about that. So you're still supporting the dude who attacked your husband.
And never said anything publicly about, hey, whoa, hold up.
Never.
Don't fuck with my husband.
Exactly. So there must be a huge amount of money. And this is what I want to ask people out there, the listeners and watchers out there.
Yeah,
by
if
the way,
anybody's got a comment, please.
Yeah, please let us know what you think. By the way, go on, subscribe to the podcast, Critical and Thinking. Go to our websites, comediantybarnett.com.
IanHarrisComedian.com or
and support.
SkepticComedian.com.
So this is what I want to ask you guys out there. Is there any amount of money that somebody could pay you for you to change your views on something that you believe in deeply? We got a handful of people watching here on Facebook. Anybody out there
got a few on the side.
Yeah,
Skeptic Brett.
If you guys, is there any amount of money that someone can pay you to totally abandon your values? Now, again, I want to be very clear. We're not talking about with children. We're not talking about with animals. We're talking about any political stance. We're talking about your moral stance on immigration, anything like that, just treating people differently or better or whatever. Any amount of money they could give you to make you change. Ian, I'm asking you that.
No. That's one thing I don't. You can't. There's certain things that I will not compromise on. Seriously, there's.
Corey said 20 million to become a Warriors
fan. Here's my thing is that, I mean, I guess you could come out publicly on stuff, but I have a hard time understanding when somebody says, okay, it's like religion with me. This isn't a money thing, but like I know many people who say, yeah, religion's all bullshit. Yeah, I don't see any evidence of any God. Yeah, I don't do anything. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. And then they say, but I feel better thinking that something's going to be there in the afterlife. It makes me feel good. And I go, wait a second. You're saying it makes you feel good to pretend to believe something that in your heart you know you don't really believe. How do you trick yourself into believing something you don't believe? I don't understand that. Like, I mean, obviously he's joking, but I could, if you said, oh, I'm going to pay you $20 million to be a 49ers fan, I could put on a 49ers jersey and a 49ers hat, but I still, in my head, I would be like, fuck these 49ers. Like, I still would not be,
okay,
I wouldn't be like, all of a sudden, yay, now I love the 49ers.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Now, someone comes to you and they say, Ian, we'll give you $500 million,
Right.
tax free, bro, tax free.
To start a church. Sorry. Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To start a church, and you have to from now
Well, I
on
can do that now, 'cause you-
publicly say no, but you got to publicly say you believe in God and everything. 500 million tax free right now, but you got to go on. You got to be like a Joel Osteen type, publicly letting people know, and you got to tell all your skeptic
Right.
friends, all of them, all your atheist friends, the atheist community.
Now, am I allowed to tell them the reason why?
Nope.
I can't say, well,
not at
look,
all.
man.
We're Brewster millioning this for you. You can't tell them.
Honestly, I wouldn't do it. I can't.
Shit.
No, because I know I'd crack somewhere. I know at some point it'd go away. Now here's the thing. I think that's I would love to do that. I would love to start a religion or a cult and I would love to be like
He's about to say a cult.
like Leap of Faith. Have you ever seen Leap of Faith?
I remember it. I remember the movie. Don't remember details.
It's actually based on a book about somebody who went around and crashed all these like roadside televangelist guys, who faith healers and all that sort of stuff. And he doesn't believe it. He knows he's a con man.
Right.
It's Steve Martin.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
But I think that would be a great business. But at the end, I would love to go. I would love to get millions of people following me and be like, yeah, the Lord. And then at the end, be like, nah, I was just fucking with you. But that was a good test in skepticism, right? See, don't believe everything people tell you. I got you all. Now y'all got to go the other way maybe millions of people could learn how to think critically if I did that. And then at the end, I was like, I was just fucking with you. Damn, you people are gullible.
Dude, see, that's
then I would do
anybody say they would. Like right here, where Richard says money changes people until it's real. We all will say no.
But see, I disagree.
Let me ask you, Richard, is there any amount of money that somebody could give you to change your personal views on something?
And Lori said she goes, hell no, the fact that I could put my head down at night knowing I haven't compromised myself. And Brett here says, regardless of the amount, too much damage could be done if I were paid to be silent. And the thing is that
okay, that's fair. Those are fair.
For me, it's like you gotta sleep at night, and you gotta you know. I mean, it also depends on how egregious the thing is. Like, if it's something, like I always look what's that Crypt Keeper woman's name that now she's against Trump, the other blonde Nazi.
I want to say Kellyanne Conway.
Ann Coulter. They all look the same. Yeah. Ann Coulter or Bill O'Reilly. I see them on their shows or on panels and whatever,
right.
And they're basically like going, well, the white man is the greatest man ever. And I think, and they just do all this crazy shit. And then you see them outside of that. Like, I used to remember seeing Bill O'Reilly. He would go on his show and he'd be like, liberals, libtards, this and blah, blah, blah. And he would just go off on this insane shit. He said, what, like, oh, the moon, we don't even know how the moon exists. And the tide goes in, the tide goes out. We don't know what happens. All this crazy shit. And then he'd go on like Bill Maher and he'd be like, Bill Maher would be like talking to him and he'd say, yeah, well, I don't really believe that. And I don't believe that.
Right.
And Bill Maher would go, wait. But you say that on your show, and he goes, well, my show's an opinion show, and it's just for fun. And it's like, but it's not even your opinion.
But
you're getting other people to have an opinion that you don't even fucking have. That's horrible.
Because they know that their base doesn't really care. They just want to be fed something. Well, because
right, but isn't that make it worse?
Not to them, because again, here's the thing, and this is why I asked you what I asked you about that money and tax-free and all that. When certain stresses alleviate, when they're gone and they're eliminated from your life and you don't have to worry about it, something happens to certain people. And it doesn't mean that it happens to everybody. When it says money doesn't change you, it just makes you more of who you already are. Some people will just be like, oh man, good, I ain't got to stress about fucking rent, mortgage, I ain't got to stress about none of that, food, my family's taken care of. Whew, so I don't even have to, I don't have to be in the trenches like that. Whereas other people are like, good, I can be more evil than I've already been.
Right, Mitch McConnell, we're looking at you.
So that's why I asked you, like, is there something? Because for me personally, I couldn't pretend to like somebody that I didn't like for a certain amount of money. I mean, even though we're acting.
Right.
Can't even believe I just said that. Boy, he's like, oh, we need you to do this scene with this person. How much you paying me? Yeah, sure, no problem.
Yeah.
But in my personal life, dude, like
meal and credit, sure.
Just craft services.
Perfect.
Got it. But I there are certain things in my life that I'm like, nah, I'm just not that person. I can't even pretend to be that person. I can't change my views on that. And this is why when I see, because this is how a lot of these people are being gotten to, is money. Because it's not their moral stance. Because, I mean, there's so much stuff that's happened in this country in the last 2.5 years that people who pretended to be moral standards, moralistically above, have already demonstrated that they're not.
Right.
So it has to be money based. It has to be either
Right.
financially based or they're compromised because they have dirt on them or something.
Right.
So, but you have to understand, most people in society aren't rich. So most people in society probably would take that route and say, yeah, whatever you need to pay, whatever you want to pay me, I'll take that to change my stance on this. This is why I asked this, because at the end of the day, a lot of these people are just going off of the hope that things will get better for them personally.
Right.
And
But so like Richard says here, he goes, maybe I'm just being real, and he said earlier about money changes people until it's real. We all say no. No offense, man. I don't know if you're kidding or if you're being serious.
No, he's being serious.
But to me, that shows a huge lack of moral and ethical character on your part, because we wouldn't all. You would, but because you would doesn't mean we all would. I wouldn't. Now again, if we're talking about the difference between no longer being a Raider fan, I'm poor and living in the gutter, and you're going to give me millions of dollars, and I'm going to and I just have to denounce being a Raider fan and not watch the. Sure, but if you're saying all of a sudden you have to become a Nazi and fucking attack gay people,
well,
and you're making a fine living, you make a six-figure, you own a house, and now I'm going to give you some more money to be a deplorable human being. No, sorry, no, I wouldn't fucking do it.
I think Richard probably would need to elaborate on where he would do it personally, but I think he's saying, and which is kind of what I'm saying here as well, is that I think a lot of society, bro, if you gave them enough money, they would turn the other way.
No,
they would.
I agree. A lot of people would.
This is just think about. Dude, we're in a society.
We see that a lot of people would, but I'm saying
that's my point.
But those are horrible human beings.
Oh yeah. There's no doubt about that. But what I'm saying is, and this is why I think a lot of these people, when it comes to being able to be turned around, is to come all the way back to the thing we said about Kellyanne Conway. Shit, she probably thinks Trump is a fucking horrible person deep down. I'm sure she does. But he's paying her enough money to just be like, look, just let all that shit go.
Which to me makes her worse of a person than him, because he's a nut and believes that shit.
Right.
She's trying to get other people to believe stuff that she knows is wrong. Like that to me is worse. Like, okay, so here's a guy who believes, because he's been taught wrongly or he had bad experiences, that white people are superior to black people and that black people should be erased from the planet. Okay? That's a
Which I'm gonna address that in 2 seconds, by the way.
That's a horrible human being, okay? But is he as horrible as a person who knows that's wrong, but takes their public platform to convince millions of other people to also believe that, knowing that it's wrong? That person is worse than this person is just an idiot.
I get it.
This person is a calculated evil fuck.
I get it.
Like,
that's true.
that is way worse to me.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And this is why I say, at some point, people have to really look and see what's benefiting you personally. Because, like, I posted something about this deal with Trump bypassing Congress and the House, and in the Senate, and everybody bypassing everybody to give Saudi Arabia access to smart nuclear technology. I just want to be clear when I say that again. He bypassed the 2 other branches of government to give smart nuclear technology to the same country that had most of the 9/11 hijackers.
You wanted to say he did something smart.
Yeah, exactly. So that's not up for debate, by the way. You can look it up. It's all true. So my point to that is when I posted
but
that,
they'd say Obama did the same thing,
and they know it's not true. But when I posted that, somebody said, instead of saying it's wrong, instead of saying because this is the same type of person that'll post never forget and Elam wasn't it Iran the Muslim lady in the Muslim congresswoman.
No, that's I forgot which one.
You know what I'm talking about. But they'll post a comment like if she says her comment was some people did something, and then those people got on her and says, that's something you're talking about is 9/11, ma'am. That's something you're talking about is that these people attacked our democracy and our country and they blew. But those same people are the same people that when I posted this thing about Trump giving them said, oh, well, if it happens, then we'll all just be dead. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
No, I know
they're figuring out a way, and this is why I'm trying to tell you at the core. And I really hate saying this because I really want to love everybody. I want to believe in humanity, but sometimes people are just evil fucks. What up, Lil Rob? There you go. You know, Omar, exactly.
Yes, thank you.
So they're attacking her for literally just saying some people did something, but those same people are turning around and ignoring the fact that the head of the country literally is bypassing two other branches, Democrats and Republicans, who said we don't want to do this, and said here because he personally has dealings with Saudi Arabia.
Well, here's what we need to do then to get them to care about it. What we need to do is instead of talking about what he did, we just need to go, Donald Trump is giving smart nuclear technology to some people. And they'll be like, hey, those some people are the people. Oh, shit, sorry.
I can't be, I'm not supposed to be, oh, God damn it.
Yeah.
Blow us all up. It's just, man, I really want things to, I want people to understand that I want people to be better because we can be. But the fact is that we're not.
Right.
We're just not. We're not. We want. You know. It is. I like your angry old white man voice. Yeah, I know, right? He's good at that. So.
I'm an angry old white man. Unless you were talking about you, then I don't know.
Nah, I don't have an angry old white man voice. Oh, well, we there. So this next thing I'm gonna say.
Yeah. By the way, we just went down on the
Internet.
on our thing. We're gonna go back up live.
Yeah.
And we'll go live again. Our video died. Shit.
Avi just joined. Look at it.
Sorry, I don't want to type it for you. Boom. We're gonna have to have him cut this out.
Okay.
And go live. 5, 4.
We back up. And this. And we're back again.
So
I have to be very clear when I say this, and I want to make sure I get all of this out so people don't misinterpret what I'm saying. Hey, Elaine, how are you? There is no culture in this country, in this world. Hey, Christy. Hey, Ian. Hey, Judy.
Hey, me.
Hey, Corey. Everybody's back. There is no culture in this country that is better than another one. There is no, I'm going to say it again. There is no culture, there is not one race in this country that is better than another one. Not one. Now,
Wait, were you talking about race? You talking about NASCAR?
Hilarious. Well,
Kentucky Derby?
In that case, Ricky Bobby. But, hey, what up, Todd? Hey, how are you, Judy? Good to see you again. I just want to say that the reason why I'm saying this is because people are so caught up on this superiority thing.
Right.
You have to stop that. It's literally what's fucking up the country right now. Is this idea that you deserve something more than somebody else because they look different than you. You have to stop this. And now, again, so you heard everything I said before, that there's no culture better than another one. So if I want to focus this really quick on white people, real quick. There is nothing about you that makes you better than any other culture. Nothing. There's nothing genetically. There's nothing financially. There's nothing educationally. There is nothing about you that makes you better than any other culture. The thing that these people that are above all of us, the rich people, have, what they've done is they've played you and they've played on your fears of you losing some sort of false superiority. They've played you into believing that you do the dirty work for them while they still maintain all of this power over everybody. Stop thinking that. You are no better than anybody else because of your skin color. The only thing that makes your skin color better is the perception that you guys have with each other about your skin color. That's it.
Well, it also, I mean, we've been talking about this a lot lately. I don't get, like, we talk about pride, straight pride. You know, they're tripping out about the gay. They have white pride. Now, look, I'm not saying, I understand why there's gay pride and why there's black pride and there's all those things. I still disagree with it, not from a white guy. You don't need, the reason is I don't like the word pride because I think it was even George Carlin.
Yes, Judy, everybody is equal.
George Carlin even did a bit about it. You're proud for something that you had nothing to do with.
Right.
Proud is the wrong word. what you're trying to say, which with people who are minorities or people who've been oppressed, which is why I don't have a problem with anyone saying, hey, let's have a black pride parade. Hey, let's have a gay pride parade. Because when you've been subjugated or oppressed, then what you're trying to say is, hey, I'm not ashamed of being this. And that's fine.
That's cool.
But there's a difference between that and being proud. So when people say, I'm proud of being white. Oh, really? What did you do to get your whiteness? Your parents had sex and they were white? I just don't, it doesn't make any sense. There's no accomplishment involved. If I say, hey, I'm proud for the comedy hour I just did because I wrote it and directed it, I'm proud. Hey, I'm proud of my daughter for doing this. I feel pride for her accomplishment.
Right.
But to go, I'm proud that I lost my hair. No, you're not ashamed that you lost your hair, but there's no pride involved in it. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It's the wrong word. You know what I mean? So these guys are white pride. Or do you keep hearing these people talking about the white race is going and they're going to replace us and the white race?
Yeah.
There is no race is a social construct. There is no race. And everybody in the fucking world has DNA from, there is no DNA test that actually determines your race. And what was that?
So,
Lori?
Lori just asked me, she says, hey, Ty, what do you think about the Edmund Burke quote, the only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. I think that's 1,000% correct. And it epitomizes everything I just said a second ago. And to what Ian just said, people are so caught up in this pride of their culture that they're not looking at humanity.
Right.
You're not looking at the totality of the world that we live in. Let me ask you something. Look at the people. How many rich people do you hang out with on a regular basis? Do you hang out with more rich people or more people that live like you?
Right.
Do you hang out with more people that are in the 1 to 3% or people that are shopping at the same places as you?
Okay, did you see the New Zealand shooter?
Yeah.
Did you see the video, which is fucking hard to watch? The whole video, he recorded it on a GoPro.
That was rough, bro.
But there's this one moment that caught my attention. It kind of goes to what Lori's saying, where he's walking in. He's walking down the street. He's got a shotgun and he's got I don't know if he's got an AR, if he's got a M16, he's got some, because different depending on where you go.
Right.
I can't remember which gun he has because he has a whole bunch of them. He's walking down the street and he's about to turn a right into the mosque. And a guy in a suit who's obviously going into the mosque with a couple other people are sitting on the street, and the guy turns and looks at him. And then the guy does nothing.
Nothing.
And the guy turns, and I'm like, okay, I get it. But he doesn't go like, help, help, a guy with a gun, run. He doesn't do anything. And there's another guy who runs at him in the thing and bumps him and then turns and runs past him, and the guy shoots him in the back. If that guy, I was talking about this with the guy that I train that also does weapons. He teaches people how to like shoot guns, and he teaches people how like cops and stuff how to do it. And he was saying that more often than not, if you just run and attack that person, they're not going to get the gun off before, and then other people will join in.
Yeah.
Once you get on and start going, other people are going to, and that guy bumped him,
and he
could have tackled, and instead turned and ran down the hall and got shot in the back. And it's like, for me, I don't get these people that you see something like this, armed or not armed, when you see something happening, whether it's a fucking, somebody do it, you see people, a street fighter, you see a man assaulting a woman, and people sit there with their fucking phones and videotape it.
Well,
nobody will do anything. Yeah, including you, dumbass.
Because now this goes to the thing we were talking about with social. Here's the thing. I hate when people blame social media for everything. Like, you can't blame it for everything. It really is. It's a double-edged sword. The type of society we live in. Like, someone posted a picture of a baby standing on a railing, like, and the stairs are right there. Clearly, you need to get this baby. But someone took a picture of the baby and is like, look, oh my God. Someone said something. But the person posted it, says, man, fucking social media sucks. Look, and I'm like, but what about the parent?
Right.
What about the parent who let the kid climb over the thing to get on the thing? It's like, well, and another person said, well, I blame cell phones. The phone is not supposed to be watching the child.
Right.
It's the parent. So we got to stop giving this passes. And you're right. There's a lot of times where shit will be popping off and no one will do anything but pull out their phone. And I'm like, man, we have to stop getting caught up in. But this comes back to the thing of, and we were talking about this. Actually, might be to Richard's point about how, in general, we're evil people. Not all, but in general, because people want to be noticed. So someone's gonna take that video, bro, and they're gonna post it and say, "Look what I posted on my page." everybody.
Right.
So even though they should have stopped that fight, they should have stopped that shooter.
Well, because they're insta famous.
That's what I'm saying.
Everybody would rather be. People would like we were talking about earlier. People would rather be famous for almost choking to death on cinnamon.
Yes.
They go, I almost choked to death on cinnamon because I'm fucking stupid. Oh well, it's like really that's what you're. But you got your 15 minutes of fame. She missed it.
No, but that's exactly. People want their 15 minutes, bro, and this is
right.
So I think.
But either way, even before cell phones, even before the internet, people would stand by. I don't want to get involved. I'm not going to get involved. Now, look, I get it that sometimes you can't just jump in the middle of something because you don't know who's at fault. You don't know how it started.
Yeah.
But honestly, if you see two people fighting, or you see what looks like two people attacking one person,
right.
or you see a man beating a woman, chances are it doesn't really matter how that started. No. That's not right. You need to do something. Say something. Call the fucking cops. Do something. But you can't just fucking you can't just walk by and be like, yeah, I watched this guy beating the shit out of this girl, and I was like, hey, that's not cool. I mean,
check out my Insta. Check out my Insta. Let me tell you something that happened to my neighbor, and I actually talked about this on our podcast earlier on. My neighbor, I guess he made a weird driving maneuver or whatever, and he had just moved in the building. Like, I'd known he was there, but we hadn't really talked and all that stuff, but I knew he was my neighbor. And the guy gets out of his car and runs up to my neighbor like fist balled up, like gets like this close to his face. And I'm walking my dog, so but I see this exchange going on, and the dude wasn't that much bigger than my neighbor, but he was big enough, and he definitely had this anger in him. Hey, Alicia, how are you? And dude, I said, you know what? I could just keep walking my dog and acting like I'm not even seeing this, but I didn't. I said, hey man, he already apologized to you for the traffic thing. And the guy says, well, you should have. I said, no. You're not talking to me like that. I can tell you that for sure. I said, he already apologized to you, bro. What's the reason for you to still have this animosity towards him? And so my neighbor was like, no, it's okay, man. It's okay. I said, no, it's not okay. Y'all shouldn't even be doing this. And the guy tried to threaten me, which is, then I realized I'm walking a Chihuahua, so I really got to, it's only how I can only look so tough.
Right.
Walking a Chihuahua
with your rainbow pin.
With a pink harness. And my dog has a pink harness. I'm like, you can go put my dog back, and then I'll come back. But the whole point is that I could have walked away and not said anything and not done anything. But the human side of me, as opposed to the robot side of me, decided to do something.
Right.
And this is what I mean by not everybody is going to think like that. You know what I'm saying? As some people are just going to be like, it's not my problem. But then, like you said, they'll pull out their phone because they want that attention. And this is what I'm telling you, dude. We are in a different society now, bro. We're not dealing with our grandparents and our parents and them caring about each other as neighbors. We're dealing with people who want to get there, like you said, 15 minutes.
But speaking of 15 minutes, we are over. We got to wrap this up. But really quick, I want to draw this back, and we'll bring it up next time because I still have one more episode to watch. But what we talk about
when they see us.
When they see us, the Central Park Five. What would have happened, you think, if those kids, if World Star had been on and those kids, because you see whether it's factually accurate or not, but one of the kids sees the other kid getting hit by the cop with his helmet.
And does nothing.
Well, does nothing because what is he going to do? He's a 14-year-old kid.
And the cop would have beat him too.
But what if he had videotaped it?
Yeah.
What if he was there videotape. Look how old I am.
Recorded
it with his.
That's true.
What if they had that? They could have exonerated themselves by saying, "Look, I've got video of what happened to the cop, and we weren't even anywhere near there. Here's where we're at. Look, you can see the tree back there, and there's that statue. I'm not even near where the
that definitely now would be a case, but you got to understand, we also are in a society right now, bro, where people have video of cops doing bad shit. Philando Castile, people still got off. The Mike Brown.
Hey, but that black Muslim cop, he's doing 12 years for killing.
I'm sorry, that what cop?
The black Muslim cop.
Which cop?
Yeah, the black. He accidentally killed he purposely killed a white unarmed woman and white unarmed woman, and
the black Muslim.
Yeah, he killed a white unarmed woman, and he's got 12 years.
And they gave the family $20 million. This is not to say, by the way, her loss is a tragic loss. I don't believe that's sad for anybody to lose their life like that. But it is just a fact of the country we live in.
Right.
Philando, this is also, it was in the same state, by the way, Minnesota. The cop that killed Philando Castile, after telling Philando Castile to show stuff, the second he moves, he shoots him with his kid in the back seat. That dude is still free, free. So and I want to just say this real quick and then we can go. What up, Craig? We live in different Americas. This is a fact. We live in different Americas. The only way America will get better, or great as people like to call it, is once we realize that we're all living in the same place. I can't even stress this enough, bro. You have more in common with the person that looks different than you but lives in the same neighborhood than the person that looks like you but they live in a fucking mansion, or they live and they have 8 million different mansions. You have to start understanding that the problem is not the person right next to you. It is people that are controlling all of this other shit.
Working class, poor, middle class, working class, and middle class, whites, blacks, Hispanics, etc., have far more in common with each other than they do with people who look like them but are in that 1%.
That's it. That's what I'm telling you.
Far more. So
do you understand? What is it? What was it? Like real. And I know we keep saying we're gonna go, but somebody got upset at Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez
AOC
because she posted a video of her reaction to a garbage disposal, and she said, "Oh my God, I didn't know what this was. I've never had one." Think about that. She's never seen a garbage disposal. So you're going to clown her because she's never seen that? Now, take that and magnify it times 1,000 of a billionaire who has like 5 million yachts and shit and has no idea what it's like to go stand in line for food stamps.
Yeah.
All right, we got to get ready to go.
All right, we're out. We'll see you guys then. So, hey, everyone go watch. If you have Netflix, watch When They See Us.
When They See Us, you got to watch it.
We'll have a conversation next time about it, and let's and everyone can chime in if you haven't seen it. Go watch it, check it out, or if at the very least, go read up the story. Go read about the actual story because it's it's dramatization,
Fucking
so it might not be real.
Bro, monsters.
How well they actually portray it in the dramatization, but go read the story about it, and we'll talk about it next time.
We want your opinions on it. We want to know what you guys think about what happened with the kids in the aftermath of that. You can find Ian on
IanHarrisComedian.com, or is comedian Ian Harris? Yeah, IanHarrisComedian.com. I always forget because you're the opposite.
Comedian TyBarnett.com, which has links to all the other social platforms and all that, the web series and the album and all of that stuff. And
download this on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, etc. Download because we only know when people either download
it is.
or patreon.com/criticalandthinking. That's how we monetize. That's how we let people know that we've got the show. It's great you're on Facebook Live. We've had like throughout this we've had like almost 50 different people today popping on. But it's the downloads and the sharing and the liking and all that stuff on the iTunes and those platforms where podcasts exist that help us. So please do that. We got to go. There's people waiting to get in the studio. We're a little late today.
I have already been slumming coming down from my personal jet to work with this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Tune in.
Yes, and next week I'll know what a garbage disposal is.
We're out. Peace.